reading. So I understand you all understand what is reading. You know what is reading? So we'll go straight into, okay, is my screen visible to you? Sarika ma'am, is my screen visible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So welcome you all to the next session of reading skills. I can see many of you are still joining. I'll just wait for a minute and then we'll start. In the meantime, you all can start reading. In this session, I won't be speaking much, but I would expect all of you to read since this is a practice session. So we'll all practice reading. We'll not speak much, we'll practice reading. You can start right now. There's a slide on your screens. You can start reading it on your own. And tell me how many languages can you find. You can type in your chat boxes. Read and type the number of languages that you find on the screen.
Our screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible? Sarika ma'am, is the screen not visible?
Yes, ma'am. It is not visible now. Earlier it was.
Oh. Okay, I'll just stop and share it again. Is it visible now?
Oh, ma'am.
Hello?
Ma'am, it's not visible.
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
It's not visible? Okay, I'll start. I'll try sharing from some other place.
Ma'am, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Could someone of you confirm if it is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am, it's there.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Okay, thank you. So what we'll do is we'll only read. Just tell me how many languages can you see on your screen. You can type in your chat boxes, the ones that you can recognize. This is a practice session for reading, so we'll practice reading only. The languages that you know. Okay. Okay, Anu Yadav can see 2 languages that she knows. Thank you, Anu. And the others? We need to start reading. We have to practice reading, so we need to start reading right now. So I can see only Anu can read. Okay, Bipin Pandey says 2 languages. Ankita says 2. Thank you, Ankita. So I guess the others. Thank you, Brijpal Dhankar sir, Aditi Meena, thank you too. Thank you all for sharing. Okay, so now we'll start on an action-packed journey of reading. Okay, Avni Kalra can read 2. So read and You can start working on it. You have to move from your places. Read the first one. Read the first one and do it. When you're done, type in the chat boxes, done. The first activity. I'm not going to read. It is you who's going to read. Let's see what can you do. So I'll give you a time of, this is 10:39 by my watch. I'll give you a time of 40 seconds. I think that should be enough. 40 seconds. Run and then come back. Okay, Ashish Srivastava, thanks. Avani Kalra, done. Great. I'm waiting for the others. Okay, Bipin Kumar Pandey, done. Great. Others, please rush. Rush. Okay, your time is up. We'll move to Ankita, done. Great. Excellent work, all of you. Oh, Deepika has done all. Okay, we'll move to the second one. Now, the second activity. You again need to rush and then come back. 30 seconds, I think, should be enough. And hit the time. Anu Yadav, done. Great. Aditi Meena, done. Excellent work. Ankita has completed. I've completed all the three, Ankita. Avni Kalra, done. Ashish Srivastava, thank you, done. Okay. Ankita has done first two. Great, Ankita. We'll move to the third one in some time now. Okay, your time is up for the second activity. Third one, read the third one, rush, and then come back in 40 seconds. I think you'll have some trouble finding a few things over here. Oh, Aditi is already done with that. Great. Yeah, I know, Ashish. There's no coin. Avinit Kalra, done. Great. Anu Yadav, I know. So I said you might have problems with the third one. So I'll wait for 10 more seconds and then we'll start talking about it. Anjali is done. Great. Okay. Time is up for the third one now. Can somebody unmute and tell me what you have with you? All the things that you have with 3 activities. Share. Anybody? Anybody? Or in case you can show them on your videos, if you can switch your videos on and show them to me and to everybody, it would be wonderful. Okay. I take your word for everyone who said that they have done this activity. If somebody wants to share it, I'll wait for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we move to the next one. We've done enough riddles in the last session, so I won't want to venture much with it, but I'll just try and do the 9th one. Can you all read the 9th riddle, riddle number 9, and tell me what it is? You can type your answers in the chat boxes. Type your answers in the chat boxes, please. I'm looking at the chat box. Okay. Great, Anjali. That's right. If you want to go through the riddles, please go through them. I'll give you 1 minute to go through the riddles. Since we have all done reading the riddles in the last session, I won't spend much time about it. Just take a minute to read the riddles. Looking at the time. 20 seconds, and I'll move. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here it goes. These are the answers. In case you read the riddles, these are the answers. Let's see how many of you can match the riddles to the answers. Read the answers, please. We are all doing reading practice. Okay, would someone like to read the answers aloud for everybody? Okay, how many of you remember the question to answer 1? Question to answer 1. The riddle to answer 1. Does anyone of you remember that? Okay, here we go. This is what reading is all about. When you read, we practiced it in the first session also, and we are doing it again in the second one. Now, answer to 4. Find the riddle to answer number 4. Can anyone of you do that right now? Can you try answering? Riddle number 4. Okay, we'll go back.
Was what goes up? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Answer C, answer 6. Do you remember the riddle for answer 6? Does anyone remember that? You can either unmute yourself or you can type it.
Which letter have maximum water?
Okay. Which letter of the alphabet has the most water? Great. Now, answer number 9. Answer 9.
What
Anyone?
has happened? Do not clap.
Okay, here you go. What has hands but can't clap? Thank you. That's great. Okay, now the another activity would be mixed up lyrics. How many of you like listening to songs? You can raise your hand, you can show thumbs up in your chat boxes if you like listening to songs. Okay, Avni likes, does that? Avni likes, Deepika likes listening to songs. Arinder Singh Chauhan, yes, you like listening to songs. Anjali, okay, great. So most of us like listening to songs. Now we'll see how many of you have actually listened to a song. Our next activity is about mixed up lyrics. Here are 7 lines from the lyrics of a very popular song. What you have, okay, Balushri, yes. So what you have to do is put them in order of the song. If you know the song, put them in the order of the song. If you know it, you can unmute yourself and then either sing the song for me or you can tell me the lyrics in the order that it comes.
May I, ma'am?
Yes, sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah, it's heal the world, make it a better place for you and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make it a better place for you and for me. It's one of my favorites.
Great, great. And this is what all of us need right now in our lives,
Absolutely.
in the world. That's right. So this is another reading activity that you could use in your classrooms because children are very interested in songs. If they don't know the songs, I'm sorry. If they don't know the song, perhaps you can play the song in the classroom with a Bluetooth speaker. All of you have smartphones, I'm sure. So maybe you could use a Bluetooth speaker in the classroom. It helps. I've done that in my class, so I know it does. And I know we have a big class. We have at least 50, 60 students in our classrooms. So a Bluetooth speaker would do well in your classrooms. And then you can have the lyrics ready like this. Play the song as many times as you want, at least 3 or 4 times if the song is a new one for them, and then go about the lyrics. So this is the song, Heal the World by Michael Jackson. So reading is to mind what exercise is to the brain. This is what Richard Steele says. It is an exercise. What exercise is to the body. So when we exercise, we strengthen our bodies, and when we read, we strengthen our minds. And this is what we are doing right now. We are exercising our minds. Okay. Now we'll move to some other possible resources. Here are some wrappers. Could you please tell me what kind of reading activity we could do with these wrappers over here? Any one of you. Reading activity with the wrappers. Our students have all these things in our classrooms. They have biscuits, they have chips, they have Lays, they have chocolates, they have toffees. So can you use them as your reading resources?
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
When we look at the wrappers, we can ask the children to read out the ingredients used in the food,
Great,
or
great.
ask them to find out the manufacturer's name.
Wow.
Let's packed it up.
Mm-hmm.
And the price, the expiry date, whatever the major information is there.
Great. So can any one of you tell me the names of 2 brands over here? 2 wrappers, names of 2 wrappers over here. Any one of you. You can either type it in the chat box or you can unmute yourself, whatever you want. Just name 2 of them. The wrappers that you find over here on the screen. Okay, Maggie and Lay's. Avani Kalra says that. That's right, Avani. Want to give some more answers?
Dairy Milk, Uncle Chips.
Okay, Dairy Milk, Uncle Chips, Maggie, Snickers. Okay, so you can have as many wrappers as you want. There's a birthday in the class, you can have the wrappers of the toffees, the chocolates. And if you want to do more, you can also have the medicines, though the students don't use medicines. But in case you want to have more reading practices, that you can do. I remember we talked about having a context for the students. So whenever we do a language, we must have a context for the students. And this is how we can inculcate or introduce context for our reading practices in the classrooms. Now, other things could be tickets, bills, cards, prescriptions, checks, or receipt. Now, this is something which is readily available to us. Maybe our students don't use them right now. but they'll be eventually using it in their lives. And some of the students are using the Metro cards, and they have the tickets, they have cards, they have bills. So you can ask them to bring the tickets to the school, to the classroom, or get them some bills or cards. So could you suggest me an activity, that reading activity, that you could use, that you could do using these? You can pick any one of these: tickets, cards, prescriptions. You can unmute yourself and tell us all. Pick anything you want: check, receipts, tickets, bills, cards, prescriptions. Please unmute yourself and let us all know what kind of reading activity could you have with tickets. Somebody unmuted? Or somebody trying to share something? Okay. Can you share?
Ma'am,
Yes. Please go ahead.
actually, I think that to enhance their reading skill and especially the pronunciation, we can give them the students a card, and to we can tell them to read it loud. Like, I think their mind will be there to read it, and the pronunciation will also be
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, sir. I don't know your
it will
name.
become fine. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
it was muted actually.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing it. But we must be very clear that we don't want to mix two activities. So if we are reading for pronunciation, that's a different thing. That's reading aloud for pronunciation. But we are talking here about exercising your mind. So in case you want to exercise your mind and this is a reading activity, you may not want to include pronunciation. Please be very focused and have as less
Ma'am, there is a
objective.
question actually. If
Yeah,
they are
sure.
reading, then in fact, are they not pronouncing it?
No, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Reading in mind. Okay.
So this is a reading activity. We have reading resources. So how would you use, for
Okay.
example, we have a ticket. So I can ask you, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, sir, but could you please read out the number of the flight over here in the ticket over there on the top left of your screen? There's a ticket number which is very clearly visible.
OKL018.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Like, not clear very much.
I know. So can anyone of you tell me the seat number from the ticket? Seat number from the ticket.
24A.
Thank you. Now the time of departure, time of the flight.
11:30.
That's right. So these are the kind of
30.
reading activities that you could have on your tickets. There are many other things that you could do: the name of the airlines, the name of the passenger, how many passengers are there, and in case there's a price of the ticket on the card over there. So you could use this reading activity for different questions. Another one, there's an Aadhaar card over here. Can somebody please read out the Aadhaar card number to me? Please read out the Aadhaar card number to me.
It's 4 times 0, 4 times 1, 4 times 2.
Thank you, ma'am. These are the kind of activities that you could involve students in. You could ask what is the gender of the person, what is the name of the person on the card. Of course, it is not here, but in case you are using a card, because all the students would have their Aadhaar cards. So you could ask them to bring the Aadhaar cards into the school, in the classrooms, and then use it as a reading resource. This is putting that into context. So you could, as one of the, you just shared that you could also have cards, read out the cards, but please don't use that for pronunciation. In case you are using it for pronunciation, you'll have to identify words that you would focus on while reading the cards. So we are reading here for the exercise of mind, for the exercise of our brains. In case you want to exercise vocal cords, you may focus on some other activity because use the same resource, but then the activity would be a bit different. Okay, there's a check over here on the bottom, right bottom of your screens. Can you tell me the name of the bank? Please tell me the name of the bank.
UCO Bank.
Raipur, Tamil Nadu.
Okay, great. So I guess my screen is very clearly visible if you can read Tamil Nadu over here. So this is how you can involve students. If you have a check, you can ask them to read the date, you can ask them to read the amount, you can ask them to read the pay. Over here, you can ask the name of the bank, the place, as one of you just shared. So this is how reading practices would be developed in them. Now, other thing could be using posters, greeting cards, pamphlets or leaflets. These are very easily available in our classrooms, at our homes, in case your school does not have it. I'm sure if there's a library in your school, you would have ample posters, pamphlets or leaflets, which are there every day in one or the other form with the newspaper. Okay, there's a blue colored pamphlet over here. Can you tell me which organizations are mentioned on this pamphlet? Blue colored pamphlet in the middle of your screen. Can anyone of you share? The organization, name of the organizations.
United Nations, ma'am.
Thank you. And there's another part, there's another organization which is mentioned over here.
WHO.
World Health Organization, WHO.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, what is this pamphlet talking about? It is talking about one important thing. What is it? Please name the thing. This is very relevant these days. On the top of the pamphlet.
The epidemic COVID-19. Oh, sorry.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus, COVID-19. Since the rest of the text is not very clearly visible to you, there's a typing over there. So I'm not going to ask you about it, but you could involve students in reading all of it with different questions. You can have them working in groups, you can have them working in pairs. Please start your reading activity involving students working either in pairs or in groups, and then gradually move on to reading individually. Because what happens is sometimes some of the students are not very confident, not very sure, but once they get used to reading such things, then they get confidence and they are ready to read on their own. So please move from groups to pairs to individual as you would find it convenient in your classrooms. So there's another pamphlet on the left bottom of your screens, which mentions a date. Can you tell me the date? Left bottom of your screen, it mentions
5th of May 2019.
which day, which May, sir?
5th of May 2019.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So this is how you can have posters, greeting cards, pamphlets in your classrooms to be used as reading resources. You also have notice boards and signs in your own schools. So you could have an activity. If you have for example, if you have a period after recess, you could ask your students to go to a certain notice board in the school or certain poster which is put up in the school, and then ask them to read it, and then tell them that you'll be asking questions about it, so that students go to the school notice board, read it during recess, games period, or whatever you want. Even if you don't want to, even if you don't have a reading resource readily available in your classroom, you could also do that. Now, these are signboards which students come across when they move out of the school, out of their homes, wherever. So the first notice board says notice on the top. Can you tell me what is this notice about? What does this notice say? The first notice board which has notice written on it. Can anyone of you tell me? Can anyone of you tell me?
It is about notice, and noticing the notice.
Okay, thank you. So could you please read it aloud, sir, for everybody?
Notice. Thank you for noticing this new notice.
Mm-hmm.
You're noticing it. After that, ma'am, it's like
Okay,
hidden.
thank you so much. Now, when I asked you to read, asked sir to read it aloud, I'm not, practicing his pronunciation. I'm just practicing his reading abilities. If he's able to read, so I'm not noticing, I'm not seeing whether the person is able to pronounce the words. I'm just seeing if the person is able to read. If he's able to read notice, if he's able to read thank you, if he's able to read for nothing, there's new notice, because these are words that our students may struggle in the beginning to read. Okay, now there's another signboard at the bottom left which has some images. Could somebody tell me what are these images about on the signboard? Bottom left. Bottom left of your screens. Yes, please. There are 3 signs which might look like as images to you. Okay. Chandrika says the use of staircase. That's right. So this is a sign for staircase. The arrow says you have to move up, and there's a use of staircase, and there's a staircase, there's a ramp for wheelchairs as well. Now on the bottom right of your screens, what do you think this signboard tells you to do? What does this signboard tell you? Bottom left, there's a green colored signboard. What does this say to you? You could type, you could unmute and speak.
It's a signboard of a tea shop.
Okay. Okay, that's better. Abhineet Kalra says, come and have tea over here. So we're not sure whether it is a tea shop. Okay, but you can have tea over here. This is what the signboard says. So this is how we practice reading. In case the student is not able to focus, we have to bring the students to a focused reading, because liquid tea available here may not necessarily mean that this is a tea shop. You could have a restaurant which gives you a tea to drink. So you have to bring it to a focus. Now here's another thing. Please, can you see it clearly? There's a map of metro over here, because our students use metros and they may come across these maps in our metro stations. So the first question, please read the first question and tell me the answers. You may either type them or you may speak it up. The first question, have a look. Okay, Balendra Mishra says Jorbagh and Amis. Okay, Ames. Great, is that correct? Aditi Meena says Jorbagh. Good. Ames Udyog Bhavan, Anu Yadav, thank you. Okay, so the second question. Please read the second question and write the answers in chat box. Okay, thank you, Anjali. We move to the second question. Okay, yellow and pink line. Okay. Okay, can anybody read the question? Second question aloud, please. Thank you, Balendu Mishra. Thank you, Balendu Mishra. Can anybody read the question? Thank you, Avani. It's black. Thank you, Chandrika. It's black. So the color of line 6. The color of line 6 is black. What is magenta over here? Is the line number mentioned for the magenta line? Okay, Chandrika has started giving answers for answer question number 3 as well. Thank you, Chandrika. Chandrika has also already given the answer to question number 3. This is AIMS, which has a plus sign, a doctor's sign. And now this is a Red Cross sign. We don't use it anymore for doctors. We move to the question 4. What is the name of the mustard line? I'm reading it aloud. Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, Balendra Mishra. We'll move to question number 4. Thank you, Chandrika, again. Chandrika, can you unmute yourself and tell the answer? Okay, Avani Kalra, thank you. One of you can unmute if you want to say the answer. Thank you, Anjali. So we move to question number 5. You will have to type it now. The pink is a little dull over here, but it is still pink. So you will type the answer to question number 5. I'm waiting for your answers. Southex INA, thank you. Now read the question again. Read the question again. Pikachikama plays an INA. I would request all of you to read the question again. Southex INA, thank you, Anu. Thank you, Balendra Mishra. We moved on to question number 5. Please read the question again and then type your answers. Now, this is a different, thank you, Arun Kumar. Now, this question asks you to name all stations, not 1 or 2 that you can find, all the stations. So in case your students write only 1 or 2 names, they might lose their points. They might lose their marks. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Arun Kumar. We've asked you to read the question again. So this is how you can help your students practice reading. In the earlier questions, you only had either 1 or 2 things that you had to find from the map. Now, in the last question, you have to find all the stations. So just finding 1 or 2 won't help. Okay, now we'll have a stack attack. It's almost time, it's 11:12, and since you've been here for some time now, you may have been feeling hungry. So I'll give you a menu card, and then you'll have to plan a small meal for me under rupees 220. Please read the question. You'll have to plan a meal for me. I'm going to a restaurant and I don't know how to read a menu card. So you'll have to read the menu card for me, and I have only 220 rupees with me. And I want to have salad, papad, and vegetable soup. So in my money that I have, 220 rupees, you'll have to select 1 salad, 1 papad, and 1 veg soup for me, and plan a meal for me as well. Now here's my menu card. Please select a menu for me, meal for me, and type in the chat box. Remember, I have only 220 rupees to pay, and I want a salad, I want a papad, and I want a vegetable soup. Please prepare a meal for me. I'm feeling hungry, so start doing it. I'm waiting, friends. Remember, I need a salad, a papad, a vegetable soup, and I have only 220 rupees with me.
Yes, ma'am. You can have green salad for 70,
Mm-hmm.
then fried papad for 40,
Mm-hmm.
that is 110, and then you can go for vegetable noodle soup for 110.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Aditi Meena. She has typed in her answer as well. Thank you, Balendra Mishra, for planning a meal for me. Thank you, Ashish. You've been so generous with me. I've already started feeling so hungry. So, this is what you can also try out with your students in the classroom. We all visit restaurants, we all visit shops, so we can have menu cards from different places. We can have students working in groups, give tasks to different groups. You can have as many questions as you want. You may ask them to um, you may tell them that you would like to have only vegetarian meal, so plan a vegetarian meal. I have only 200 rupees, I have only 500 rupees. Or you may tell them that you don't like vegetarian at all when you go out, you want to have only non-vegetarian and you have only this much of rupees, and you don't like soups or you don't like sweets or whatever you want, and or you would like to have something to drink. So you can ask your students and devise your reading activity. um, no, now out of it, this is again, I don't have a newspaper here with me, but you can have either a newspaper or an ad, and then frame questions like these. I'm just sharing these questions. You can have a resource, and then you can have them answering the resources, answering the questions. So, name a cookies brand, they'll find out. That Ninjas is not a cookies brand, Meenas is not a cookies brand, hide and seek is perhaps one. Thank you, Barendu Mishra. Now, the name of a newspaper, you can have them reading newspapers, give them newspapers, and then ask them to find out the name of a newspaper. Now, earlier they were doing it on their own, now you're giving them options to find answers from. Okay, we are nearing the end of our session. There's a video to be played over here. I'll just try and Sarika ma'am, would you be able to play the video? Are you there, Sarika ma'am? Okay. Since the video is on YouTube, I won't be able to share it because some technical things. So now you can do that with your classroom in case you have video playing, showing them availability of technical support, so that you can show them a video. This is a video about 3 minutes video about an LIC ad. You all have ads, but this is in a different language and it has subtitles. So what the students can do is they can watch the video, they can have a visual representation, visual input, and also reading with it. They can read the subtitles, and then you can have different questions based on that. The question over here would be, what do you think this movie could be about? The video has subtitles in English, and these are very small subtitles with very easy English. So you can ask them to read the subtitles. Plus, they have a visual help, a visual support in the form of a video. So, this is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much. This was PPT, which was prepared by my colleague Divya Gupta. Thanks, Divya. She's in another session. Thank you all for listening and participating so much, so well in the presentation. Thank you all. In case you have any questions, please feel free to do that. Please feel free to ask any question that you have. Thank you. Thank you all for being here with me. Okay. Sarika ma'am, do we have a gap over here, a break, or we move to the next session right now? Sure, Aditi, I'll do that. Definitely. I'll share the PPT. I'll share the PPT on Telegram group. So the next session that you have is, I think, from with Shweta. I'm not too sure. This is
Garima
what.
ma'am, the
Thank you.
next session will be by Ruchi Jain ma'am,
Okay,
and
okay, sorry,
Shweta
sorry.
ma'am will be the co-author for the same. And we will
Oh,
start our
thank
next
you.
session at 11:40. Till
Thank
then,
you.
enjoy the time. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us in the INSET program. And today we are talking about the writing skill. Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Thank again for joining us today. Uh, Here are within the presentation to you. Want to wait till the end to cover them? I'd just like to address them as you are asking them so you can get answers right away. You can use chat box directly, speak by unmute yourself while the presentation, or we should not crisscross each other point. Be ensure and should try to accept other point as well.